So I'm going to lead us in a contemplative meditation. After I'm done, there will be 60 seconds, and then Jackson will follow with some music, and then I will lead us in a invocation treatment. Tomorrow would have been my mother's 96th birthday. She will not be here. Angelica talked about letting go of 2021. And we have all been doing a lot of letting go. So the reading today is from 7,000 Ways to Listen, Staying Close to What is Sacred by Mark Nepo. I know there is no place to go with your grief other than to feel it and ride it like a raft until that rough sea brings you to a strange, familiar shore that is both where you have been and entirely new. I know nothing I can say will ease the pain beneath your breathing right now. We can only gain strength from sharing our experience without second-guessing any of it, just putting what we've been through into the small fire between us that has kept us warm for years. I want to walk that pathless path together through grief and death and faith and the mystery that lives beneath fairness and unfairness. It is beyond understanding and beyond all map-making. We can only climb our way like those before us into a clearing that begs for our acceptance if we were to know any peace. This mysterious path doesn't remove the grief or the pain, but somehow, like a knife dropped in the sea, our grief and pain lose their edge. Just know that you are both alone and not alone. Though I can't go with you to the cliff of all you feel inside, I am here. Here's what I know. I know that God, Spirit, Universe is an infinite energy comprised of atoms and electrons and neutrons that have existed since before time began and will exist long after we know the definition of time to end. I know that we were here before we thought we were here, and that we will be here long after we know we are here. And in that infinite lifespan, we will come across many, and we will say goodbye to many. We will let go of ideas that no longer serve us. We will mourn and we will grieve those things that are no longer of value to us. But at the same time, because we go on forever, we will look forward and we will know that all that is coming to us is every bit as good as everything that has gone before us, and in many ways will even be better. And knowing that that is the reality of who we are and what we have done, I look forward to the future with joy and excitement and all that is coming to us. And I am so pleased, as I speak for all of us, to be surrounded by the infinite love of the universe, and more intimately by all of those who sit here with us, before, during, and yet to come. And I release these words with joy and happiness and gratitude into the universe, knowing that that is the real state of how it is. And so it is.
There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place.
Thank you, Jackson. And now, Angelica, as uncomfortable as you are standing up here and addressing the congregation, I give you the microphone.
Thanks, Scott. Good morning. First I have to fix something here on my screen so that... Hey, why does it do that? Where am I? Okay. There's the mouse. Here, I'm trying to pin it so it's just me on here, so hold on just 1 minute. I'm so glad that you're comfortable with the unorganized church. Okay, there we go. So, as you can see on your screen, it says that today we're talking about the joy of becoming. And I really like this idea of the joy of becoming. Because we're always becoming something, aren't we? We're always changing, we're always growing, we're always evolving. And so, from our global vision, and of course I'm in the way. Okay. From our global vision, we envision humanity awakening to its spiritual magnificence and discovering the creative power of thought. A world where every person discovers their own personal power and ability to create an individual life that works within a world that works for everyone. So, awakening to our spiritual magnificence, this was the theme or the vision for Religious Science International before the two organizations joined together. And I just love that idea, awakening to our spiritual magnificence. And this is really what we're all about, is opening up to who we really are. A world where everyone discovers their own personal power, their own ability to create an individual life. If we really knew how powerful we are, we would just be in awe, not only of ourselves, but of everybody. So Richard Rohr, who is a favorite of mine lately to read, he's a priest. He says, we all seem to suffer from a tragic case of mistaken identity. Life is a matter of becoming fully and consciously who we already are. But it is a self that we do not know. It is as though we are all suffering from a giant case of amnesia. The protagonists in so many fairy tales are already nobles, royal daughters and sons of the king, or even the gods. But their identity is hidden from them, and the storyline pivots around this discovery. And when you think about it, we're all living in our own stories. And the same thing has happened. I was telling somebody the other day that every time I have christened a baby or held a brand new baby, and you look in that baby's eyes, that baby is awake and aware. They just don't know how to tell you about it, how to communicate with you about it. But then what happens to us is that we begin to hear the word no a lot, and we begin to be told, no, you can't color trees blue, they're green, etc. And we start becoming hypnotized or mesmerized by the outer world, and something in us forgets who we really are. And so our whole job here is to keep moving along our spiritual path so that we remember. That's what this type of church is all about. In fact, all churches are about it in some way or another, about reminding you of your own divinity. Please mute yourself. I suppose I could do that to everybody, couldn't I? I don't remember how to do that, though. Oh, well. So, this is what I want us to know. That there's a beauty and a stillness in realizing that in our personal journey, we have come nearer to the awareness of that which is already there in the first place. And I know we know this as children. If you go back in your memory, don't you remember a time when you knew you were one with everything? When I talk to people, it's mostly when we were outside or interacting with a pet, where we just knew and knew that we were one with absolutely everything. The divine is always at hand, waiting to be noticed, forever revealing itself further through us. The divine is waiting to be noticed. Each one of us has to do that in our own way. This isn't a teaching that says, these are the rules, you have to do it such and such a way. We say, this is what we believe is truth, this is spiritual principle, go find it. And don't find it out here, find it in here first, and then find it out there. Then you will find it out there. I found this really beautiful picture and statement on Google Images. That's just a wonderful place to find images. I don't know who Anodia Judith is, but I love what it says. The divine is not a noun. It is a consistent energetic verb that is being, doing, existing, and emanating. Everything is energy, an emanation of divine force in the present moment. You've heard me say before, and you've probably said it yourself, that this energy, this divine, whatever we want to call it, is the source and substance of all that is. And that to me means there isn't anywhere where it is not. It becomes things, and when that, like a plant, it becomes the plant. It does from the seed to the fruiting to the letting go of its life, and then becomes something else, and becomes something else, and becomes something else. It is absolutely everything, but it's uniquely expressing differently all the time. There's divine energy sitting in this room, as our physical bodies. They're as our soul or our spirit that's within that physical body. There's also divine energy sitting in the chairs that you're sitting in. It is the chairs. It's the rug. It's the microphone. It's the laptop. It's absolutely everything that is. There is nothing that is not this divine energy. And as I put on the side here, the divine is not becoming. The divine is. It absolutely is everything. So here's my little ideas. The first, in this idea of the joy of becoming, be in the moment. We spend so much time looking back over our shoulder at what we should have done or what we didn't do or whatever, that we trip as we're going into the future. At least I do. So your being in this moment is a necessary part of the unfolding of the divine. So take a moment, every moment, to really experience the all-pervasiveness of the universe right here and now. Close your eyes for a minute. And just see this energetic field moving in through and all around you, and in through and all the people that are sitting here, and in through the Zoomers, in through everything. And take a breath. You're breathing in divine energy. Just think about that for a moment. You breathe in air, and the air does exactly what it needs to do. It goes exactly where it needs to go in your body to then go into the blood cells and all the other parts of the body. All of this is divine energy. What if you really thought that? That everything is divine energy, and it's important to be in the moment. Let's look at the next one. Wayne Dyer says, present moment living. When you think about it, there's really no other moment you can live, because now is all there is. We think we can live in the past, or we think we can live in the future, but that's all we're doing is thinking it. We're not physically doing it. Helen Street, Reverend Helen Street used to say, you want to know how to be in the now? Be where your body is. So I love this phrase, be still and know. So you have to be in the moment, and you have to be still and know. So the mind of a human is some part of the mind of the divine, or of God. This is from the textbook. Therefore, it contains within itself unlimited possibility of expansion and self-expression. Think about that for a moment. You are unlimited energy. Unlimited. And yet what I know for myself, and so I know that you do it as well, is that I put limits on stuff. It could be, well, I'm 73, I can't do that. Limit. Well, I'm not a skinny mini, so I can't do that. Limit. I was having problems doing some yoga program on television that I found, and I was having a hard time doing some of it, and of course my mind's going, well, if you'd lose some weight, you'd be able to do it a lot easier. You've experienced that, right? And I was flipping through the channels of that night, and I found this program about a woman who is much larger than I am, who is a ballet dancer. Now, is her mind going nanny, nanny, nanny to her? It might have at one time, but she said, oh, shut up. And she did not let it limit her at all. And she was doing poses that I'm thinking, oh my God, I don't even know if I could do that thin. It was just amazing. But we tend to limit ourselves. We forget who we are. We're unlimited possibility. When you try to control everything, which is what we do, isn't it? We try to control everything. You enjoy nothing. Think about the last time you really tried to control something. Maybe you tried to control a relationship. Is that really enjoyable? When you try to control everything, you enjoy nothing. Sometimes you just need to relax, breathe, let go, and live in the moment. I decided a long time ago that I was tired of all of these goal-setting, rah-rah kind of workshops, etc., that I had been going to, and decided, I'm not going to do that anymore. What I know is that before I even ask, it is answered. And so before I even really know that I want a particular thing, it usually comes to me. And then this is called living in the now moment. Somebody a few years ago asked me, well, what are you going to do 5 years from now? What I'm doing. My life, I love it. I might cause the our center council a little difficulty sometimes because I come up with stuff like that and I want it done then. I just let it happen. But one of the things I know is that, yes, it is good to know what you want in 5 years. It's good to have goals. But maybe your goal is to know who you are. To know that you're God. You're the divine energy. You're the force. You're it. So we have to start acting like it. And one of the ways to do this is to be still and know. And that be still to me is to spend time in meditation. Now some people think of meditation and they think you have to sit a certain way and you have to hold your hands in a certain way, etc. And yes, if you're taught in some traditions, that's what you're supposed to do. But do you know, for me, taking my cup of coffee and walking out to say hi to the roses, I have 17 bushes, that's a meditation. I mean, I look at the life, I look at the buds. I mean, I have one rose still that just came up with a long shoot with 5 buds on it. It's like, excuse me, it's winter. The season's over. I'm getting ready to cut you all back. Well, now I can't. I have to wait till those bloom. But that's a meditation, being out there, just being with nature. And I'm reading more and more things lately that say you should be outside a minimum of 20 minutes a day. Because you need that earth energy. You don't get it with the lights and all the stuff, the heater in your house, etc. I remember reading one of Deepak Chopra's books years and years ago, probably one of his first, where he said you should go outside every morning and close your eyes and look at the sun for 20 seconds. And if we don't see the sun that often, but try it. The next time you see the sun, go outside, close your eyes, take a breath, and aim your gaze towards the sun. I'll tell you what I experience. First, I just see light, right? Just the light coming in. And then the light seems to, oh my God, I can feel it right now. The light seems to come over my face and my head and come down into the middle of my back and go down my spine. That light, that energy of the sun. I thought, wow, I don't know what it does in Ayurvedic medicine, but it's a good feeling. And there you're living in the moment. You're relaxing, you're letting go, you're breathing, you're living in the moment. So my last idea for this plan of the joy of becoming, let it be a joy, is realize that there's only one thing ever happening. This is noticing. You have to notice, you have to acknowledge all these things as they happen, right? There's only one thing ever happening, the expression of God in this moment. Like the burning bush viewed by Moses introducing itself, as I am, or in other translations, I am becoming. The fullness of spirit is all around us and within us, awaiting our notice. Awaiting our notice. When you get up in the morning and you head into the washroom to do your thing, stop for a moment and look into your own eyes. Spirit is there. When you're meeting up with people, look into their eyes. In fact, this last couple years with the masks has sort of helped us a lot with this. I know that people didn't always look in people's eyes before. You're looking at their mouth. But now you have to look at their eyes. And as you look in people's eyes, you can see their spirit. You can feel it better. You connect better. So begin to notice. Begin to really notice the actions of the divine in your life. I love this one. to experience the joy of becoming. What day is it? Asked Pooh. It's today, squeaked Piglet. My favorite day, says Pooh. We don't tend to do that, do we? We tend to get up and go, oh, let me look at my to-do list. Oh, I got to do this, I got to do that, then I got to see this person, do that person. You know, we have our chores, right? Our jobs for the day. But let's let today and tomorrow and every day be our favorite day. And let's let it be our favorite day because we know we can live in the joy of becoming. And what are we becoming? More consciously aware that we are spirit in form. A unique, individualized expression of the divine. So let's say our affirmation. I affirm that my life is a series of ever-unfolding, joyful experiences that enrich myself and all. And I thank Catherine Kane from Hawaii for writing these for us this month. Let's take a breath, close our eyes. We'll go into prayer. I am absolutely ready and willing to be in this becoming stage. Becoming even more aware of the truth of my being, and that truth is all there is divine energy. All there is the infinite. All there is first cause. All there is God. And this energy is absolutely everywhere. Therefore, I remember that it's within me as well. And so I begin to notice it more. I allow myself to be open and available to it more. And I let my heart be filled up with it because I know that this divine energy is the energy of love. Not the love that we have for each other unless it's unconditional. Unconditional love. Indeed, we could say, like the master teacher said, or heard, this is my beloved, in whom I am well pleased. This is my beloved. And as I allow myself to experience the energy of divine love, I begin to look out at the world and go, there is my beloved, there is my beloved, there is my beloved. Whether it be a person or an animal or a plant or a car or anything. Because we remember that all there is divine. And how grateful I am to know this. How grateful I am to be able to notice those signs of the divine everywhere in my life. And I'm speaking this word using the I, but I'm speaking it in the first person for all of us, to make it easier for you to just embody. And so I'm ready and willing to experience more love notes from the divine. More experiences that show me that what I am learning about myself is true. What I am beginning to understand is that, yes, I am a unique expression of the divine, made manifest right here and right now. And so I spend more time in the now moment. I let myself be where my body is, planting my feet intentionally, doing things that keep me in this present moment. And yes, I think about my future being better and better, but I also allow myself to realize that everything starts right here. Now is the only moment. Now is the time for me to elevate my consciousness. Now is the time for me to open my arms, my heart, and my whole being to accept the love of the divine. To accept that I am a unique emanation of this love, this divine energy. And so I know for each one of us that as we step out into today and into this spiritual path called this week, we allow ourselves to do so with this sense of joy. because we know that we're growing, we're expanding, we're manifesting ourselves as spirit. How could we not? Because spirit is all there is. And so we celebrate this with every fiber of our being. This too is God. And as Emma Curtis Hopkins used to write, this too is God, this too is for me. This too is God. This too is for me. And how wonderful that is. So with a grateful heart, I release these words into divine law, knowing that they're already so, and so it is. Today we have a gift. Les and Jeff are going to give us some music. It's called Come by the Hills. And is this one that we can record, or do I need to stop the recording?
I'm not sure. The lyric is by somebody. The song is, the tune is Irish traditional. So I don't know whether we can get rid of that or not. It's not one of mine.
Okay, so maybe I better stop the recording.
Yeah, it's a folk
What?
song. It's a folk song translated by somebody. I don't know if the translator.
Okay, I'll let it record then. So those of you on Zoom, you might want to put your screen on, well, I don't know, look at the one that, yes, on speaker, but Marvin has it differently, so I can't.
Put it on? Turn it on?
They'll have to just look in the little box. So go for it, you guys. Sorry.
Come by the hills to a land where fancy is free, and stand where the peaks meet the sky and the logs break the sea, where the river shall clear and the bracken is cold in the sun, and the cares of tomorrow can wait till this day is done. Come by the hills to a land where life is a song, and stand where the birds fill the air with their joy all day long, where the trees sway in time and even the wind sings in tune, and the cares of tomorrow can wait till this day is done. Come by the hills to a land where legends remain, where stories of old fill our hearts and may yet come again, where the past has been lost and the future is yet to be won, and the cares of tomorrow must wait till this day is
so much. That was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.